And back to action here, 184 pounds. Welcome back to the NWCA All Star Classic here on Fox College Sports, along with Nick Garone, Jason Bryan here with you. Number 1 versus number 2 here at 184 as second-ranked Jack Dechow, sophomore from Old Dominion, will take on another sophomore, top-ranked Gabe Dean from Cornell.
These two wrestled in the NCAAs last year, and Dean got the better at Dechow, 5'4". But it was a very entertaining match. He won on riding time and 1 versus 2. Like I said, I love these 1 versus 2 at the beginning of the season.
Both placed as freshmen. While Dean made a lot of headlines last year when he won the Southern Scuffle, beating eventual 3-time NCAA champion Ed Ruth of Penn State, Dechow was laid up with a high ankle sprain, so he was pretty much an unknown entity last season up until he won the MAC, beating All-American Ryan Loader of Northern Iowa.
You know, both these guys are very talented, very technical guys. Dean is a real tough guy, that hard-nosed, come after you, stay-in-your-face type wrestler. Dechow, I think, uses a little more slickness, but this should be a great matchup.
Minute gone by, no score. Dechow in the blue, Dean in the red. Looking far ankle, Dechow trying to score the takedown. He's on the edge. Dean trying to post on the head. This is almost the exact same takedown he scored on him in the Nationals. Now Dean reverses direction. Great flurry there. Dean avoids the takedown.
Dean has that beautiful kick out, and he's another guy. That's why these guys are at the top of their game. This is why these guys are ranked number 1, number 2 in the country, because they don't give up those easy points. They're always fighting. You have to finish to get a takedown. You can't half finish against these guys.
Dean, a Michigan native. His dad, Dave, All-American at Minnesota, longtime coach at Michigan, assistant coach at Michigan State. He's the EIWA Rookie of the Year last year. Won a world bronze medal at the university level this season. He's not really a freestyle guy. Goes out, wrestles freestyle, and takes a bronze at University Worlds.
You know, he's just always in such great position, and he hand fights, and he keeps hand control, and he's in on a nice, beautiful shot. But Dechow's got that little crotch throw. If he can get, he's got to keep scooting his hips. If Dechow scoots his hips, he can get away, but no, Dean is just so strong. Finishes that nice takedown, Jason.
Dean gets a takedown with 50 seconds to go here in the first period. And Jack Dechow from Richmond, Illinois, an Illinois high school state champion. Again, missed most of the big part of the season with a high ankle sprain, with only 21-6 last year. 13 seed at the NCAA championships. Upset Max Thomasite in the first round from Pitt. Comes through, makes the semis, loses to Jimmy Sheptock. And then now we're seeing 20 seconds to go, and I think Gabe Dean wants to get a little bit of evening up for Cornell here. I don't know if it's been a big part of his idea, but Cornell 6-7 all time here in the All-Star Classic. This would make him even at 7-7.
You know, Gabe Dean comes from great pedigree. His dad took 3rd in the NCAA championships, so you know, he's from a wrestling family.
I'm up on 10 seconds to go. Oh, by the way, we totally missed it. You see it's 2-0. They're on their feet. Dean got the takedown on the edge, and that was the experimental rule where you can bring them back up to their feet if you've got control and you go out of bounds. Not if you drive them out. You see, so Dechow doesn't get the point for the escape. So that's the first time we've seen it here in the main event, and you know what? It just seems so natural.
I know.
You're only going to see it here at this event.
But I don't know if I like it.
So,
you know, the guy has an opportunity to score from bottom, you know, and you know, that rule takes that away from him.
Well, it's on the edge out of bounds, and that's the only time you'll see it. Now, Dechow going to run Dean out of bounds, and we're going to restart with 1:54 to go. 17 seconds of riding time for Dean. Get a 2-0 lead for Dean. And Nick, I'm going to give you a little credit here. You're maintaining your composure pretty well, because not only is Jack Dechow out there wrestling for Old Dominion, you're an Old Dominion alum, and you're staying an even keel.
You know what? I'm trying to keep even keel. I really like Gabe Dean, but I'm alumni from Old Dominion, and I you know, and Kyle Dake's sitting right next to me, so I'm kind of like pigeonholed into being very objective with this match.
Yeah, because he's going to elbow you one way, and I might the other. Here we go on the restart again. 7 seconds of riding time, not a factor. Dechow looks over. He's gonna put him up on his feet and give Dean the escape on the restart here. That is a rule that high school started with, college adopted. Steve Martin, Alex Dolly in the corner for Old Dominion. Damian Hahn, the assistant for Cornell. So 3-0 lead for Dean.
To be honest, I'm just happy Old Dominion is got a presence in this event. I think you had mentioned to me before, there's only 4 appearances, 2 by the same wrestler, ever in this event being represented at Old Dominion. I'm just happy that Old Dominion is got these types of guys that are all Americans, and Dechow is one of those guys. I'm also happy because Rob Cole's a tremendous guy, good friend of mine, and he does a fantastic job, and they have a shot at winning it this year, Cornell, winning the whole thing.
3-0 lead as we are neutral here for Gabe Dean over Jack Dechow. Number 1 versus number 2 here at 184 pounds. And as Nick alluded to, the very first wrestler from Old Dominion to compete in the then East-West All Star Classic was Wayne Bright, who was the answer to a trivia question. Who was the last man Dan Gable beat in college? It was Wayne Bright at either the NCAA semifinals in 1970 or the All Star Classic. Now we see Dechow in on that single leg.
Can he finish here? He's got to take his time. He's got to take his time here. He's still got a toe in.
Very small mat. He's off the mat, though. Not small mat, but his foot hits the wood. As soon as your feet are off the mat surface, they're going to blow it dead.
I'm not so sure Gabe Dean didn't do that on purpose, but hey, that's a strategy. You know, you're in that position. You got your leg up, and you didn't give up the 2.
2 good attempts by Dechow. Neither been able to convert. Of course, as we mentioned, James Nicholson competed in the event twice for ODU in 2009 and 2010.
Stevie Martin's got some intensity, doesn't he?
He never stops. He never stops talking. Never.
He never stops.
Dechow on the attack again. Good reshot by Dean. Now blasts a double. And doubling off and finishing is Dean. Now a 5-0 lead in short time. 2-1, and this is a situation, if wrestling would have continued, Dean would have had the option again to bring him up. We're into the period, so we're not going to see that. So Dean will go into the period with a 5-0 lead.
It's a beautiful double leg and a beautiful finish. Textbook finish on that. And, you know, he's up right now, and Dechow is in trouble. 5-0, that's tough to make up against a wrestler like Gabe Dean.
Dean only lost to 2 wrestlers last year. That's going to be a caution on Dean, so they each have 1. Of course, Nick, I'm also glad you were here to mention all that Old Dominion stuff instead of me.
Yeah, it would have looked too obvious.
A little too obvious. In case you're both wondering, both Nick and I are both graduates of Old Dominion University. Took me a little longer than you, though, I think.
I think you were on the 8-year plan.
7. Anyway, back to action, 5-0 lead. We'll get back to the wrestling here. There's a stall call on Dean there. You see one of the rules that's being enforced a little bit more. So there's the stall call. He didn't lift and return. Trying to build that riding time. It's at 24 seconds. We're at 1:48 to go. 3rd and final period here at 184. Tim Shields and Gary Kessel, your officials. This is the kickoff of college wrestling season. Good little sit out and 1-point escape for Jack Dechow. Cuts the lead to 5-1, but a lot of time still remaining in this 3rd period, but it's really hard to score points on Gabe Dean.
Just unbelievable. I mean, he's really tough to get out of position, and he gets that inside tie. He always makes sure that he has hand control even on his feet. And you know what? Let me tell you, you get him. Look at those size of those legs. You get those legs up there. That's not an easy finish.
Yeah, Dechow really quick with his leg attacks. Also got a pretty nice shrug. 1:10 to go. Riding time not a factor at the moment. Battle of sophomores, so this could be the first of many battles for these two. Well, actually, it's the second of many battles between these two. The first this season.
The way you finish on a Gabe Dean is you explode right through a move, and you got to finish quick. You can't get the leg up in the air and give him time to adjust, give him time to get those hands and work his way out of that. You have to finish fast on Gabe Dean.
Dechow again. Where I like Dean here is when Dechow's in on that shot, doesn't get in, but Dean is so quick. Coming through in a reshot, I mean, looking for a quick go behind, you know, a sneaky takedown, good front headlock, with a fresh start.
Very quick, excellent hips. But Dechow, listen, Dechow's wrestling a good match against them. He's just, you know, he's having a tough time. And this is one, like we said, you know, this is 1 versus 2.
Sweep attempt, go behind by Dechow, trying to finish. Oh, they're going to call that there. They're going to called stalling. And that is going to be a point for Dechow. Not fleeing. It was a stall call, 2nd stall call. So instead of 2, it's 1. 19 seconds to go. So Dechow nearly got the point, or nearly got the takedown. So he got called for stalling. So Dechow's going to have to move here in short time. The leg again, and see, there it is again. The great awareness by Gabe Dean to just turn a defensive move into an offensive one. 2 and 1, and that's going to do it. So Gabe Dean, #1 in the country, going to pick up the victory over Jack Dechow here at 184.